All right, guys, we're here talking about trash pullouts, and this video is going to be demonstrating the Conestoga Bloom Tandem soft close trash pullout. We've got a couple other trash pullouts Conestoga offers, one by Hayfella, which we like. It's a bottom mount unit, and then they have a side mount ball bearing glide that's full extension but not soft close. A couple things about this unit I want to make you aware of. First of all, this is an 18-inch cabinet, and it's only going to fit a single can. Okay, if we turn the can sideways and try to put two of them in like you'd see on a normal double trash can, this cabinet has to go all the way out to like a 21 or a 24 inch. It has to get much bigger because the cans are running this way. And the reason is you have all this real estate on the sides that the undermount glides have to occupy. So to get that normal, very traditional trash can with a recycling bin behind it next to your sink, which everybody wants, you have to have a much wider cabinet, and all of this space is wasted. It's one reason we're not a real fan of this unit, and because they're tougher to put in, but again, some people love the Bloom Undermount hardware, so Conestoga offers it. They offer this with, like I said, a double cutout, or they'll even offer it with no cutout, and you can cut your own can or a series of weird cans or whatever you're doing. If you've got some different use for this thing, you can cut your holes any way you want. When Conestoga supplies it with a single or the double, the cutout is done for you. You just set your trash can in. So we're going to get into the installation in a minute. It uses some tricks that we've had to kind of use to get some workarounds. It is not an easy one to put in. You're going to want to have a second set of hands, and we'll get into the tools and all that's necessary to install this bugger in the next section. Thanks. Before I get started, let me walk you through what's going to come in the kit, some nuances we found you need to be aware of, and tools you'll need. First thing you'll want is a pencil. You'll need a tape measure. Ideally, you'll need a cordless screwdriver, or a normal screwdriver is fine, but we like cordless. You're going to need a couple of wood screws that Conestoga doesn't supply, about 1.25 inches long, and it should be about it. So there's not a lot of tools with this one. It is nice to have a second set of hands if you've got a helper. All right, so we're going to get started and show you what's in the box. You're going to get your normal Bloom Tandem Drawer Glide kit. Comes in a poly pack. You're going to get 2 of these rear metal brackets. You're going to get 2 of these orange release handles, and you're going to get a left and right glide rail. And then you're going to get your normal package of screws. Now, if you want to walk through or take a look at the video we have on our website for the installation of Bloom Tandem Drawer Glides for a normal drawer box, the installation's pretty similar. There is a couple differences, but it's pretty similar to that. One thing you're going to want to know right away is these can be set off to the side. You're not going to use them. They come automatically in the poly pack. Conestoga doesn't separate them out because everything's coming as a bundle. But when you open them up, set these off to the side. The reason is, the other thing that comes in your kit, the trash pullout itself and the trash can, the trash pullout has to have enough space to clear the undermount glide rails that are occupying this portion of the drawer box. I'll call it a drawer box for lack of a better term, the trash pullout. These orange release handles get in the way of that. So they hang so far past the edge that the trash can itself, when you set it in the opening, will hit this clip and knock it off. So instead, they're going to send you 2 of these gray Bloom narrow drawer box clips. And these just mount inside that corner. They've already given you a little block of wood that's already put there for you when you take the trash pullout out of the box. And these have a little shoulder cut in them. They just lay on top there, and you pre-drill these holes and put the 2 provided wood screws in there like I did over here. And now these clips are now locked in place. So just be aware those gray clips are going to come in handy. You're going to need to keep those around. The other thing that comes in the package is going to be some blocks of wood. These may be in a different box. We don't use these. I'm not sure if Conestoga is intending to send these with this unit, but we're not having good luck with these because the thickness on this material is a little bit thicker than the dimension back here. So when you put these back here, and this is hanging in just a 1/16 of an inch or so, that makes the drawer glides so close together that they rub the drawer box itself or the trash pullout itself. So we're not liking this approach. What we're doing instead, walk you through that now. What we're doing instead is we're making use of the metal angle brackets, just like our Bloom Tandem Drawer Glide video shows. We're making use of these at the back of the cabinet, and then we're just inserting 2 thinner blocks of wood of our own. We get these ourselves, just scrap from our shop. And these mount behind, and now they're dead even or even a little bit inside of the front frame. And now that drawer box has room to move. So we just pre-drill a couple of holes in these blocks of wood, use a couple of wood screws and mount these in. So I'm going to walk you through this process, starting with the installation of these metal brackets, okay? Empty my drawer box out, or my cabinet box out here. So the first thing is, grab your tape measure and your pencil, and you're going to want to measure up from the cabinet floor at the back of the cabinet 8 inches and strike a line. Do that on both sides of the cabinet. So up 8 inches, strike a line, and 1/4 of an inch off the cabinet wall. So the way this bracket is going to go in is 8 inches up, and the outside edge is going to go 1/4 of an inch off the cabinet wall. So somewhere like that. Okay, and using the provided hardware bag that Conestoga gives you, you want to use 3 round-headed wood screws that come in that little package. 3 round-headed wood screws to hold this on. So I'm going to go off camera here and mount my 2 rear metal brackets, and then I'm going to come back on camera and show you the placement of these wooden blocks and then how to put the glide rail itself in. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so to summarize where we're at here, I've installed my rear metal brackets, 1/4 of an inch off the cabinet wall, 8 inches to the bottom of the plate. I also took the liberty of installing these blocks of wood. I just have them pinned here for now for illustrative purposes, but the block of wood sits in such a position that when I install my track, I can screw into that block of wood because the track is not sitting on the front frame. It has to sit right behind the front frame for overlay cabinets. Okay, it's very critical. Overlay cabinets are there. Inset cabinets are going to be 3/4 of an inch behind the front frame. All that to say, you can use these blocks of wood. For 10 bucks or so, Conestoga will sell the same inset drawer mounting brackets that are shown in our Bloom Tandem door glide install video. And you can just mount those kind of brownish beige brackets behind here, and they'll carry the weight of the drawer track. So you don't have to use these blocks of wood like we're showing. You can use those inset mounting brackets, and they would work on both overlay and inset. For purposes of this, we're just going to use this block of wood. So we're going to slide a track in. I've already got my line struck here for 8 inches up from the bottom. I'm right behind the front frame, which is where I want to be. And I'm going to find a flathead wood screw. Must be flathead, or the drawer box or the trash pullout will rub. I'm going to find a flathead wood screw, and I'm just going to take one of those, actually a couple, and I'm going to insert those into the edge of that block of wood I've got in there. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And when we come back, I'll show you how this trash pullout actually goes in, how it functions, how you'll put your door on. So I'll be back one moment. Okay, so we're back. We've got both of our glide rails installed to our blocks of wood. Everything's functioning well. Our last step is to take the actual trash pullout with both of our gray release handles installed. And we're going to set that right on the glide rails, no different than a normal drawer box. Push it until it clicks. When you hear it click, she's engaged. And now I have a soft close tandem trash pullout. Because I'm overlay, the front of this is just about dead even with the front frame. When I put the door on, which I have here, when I put the door on, I can run my screws to install that door right through the back of this plenum, this front plate of the drawer box. I can run those right into the back of the cabinet itself, or the door itself, okay? You want to try to catch framing of the door. Sometimes you'll be in the panel, but you've got all this real estate to work with to find screw locations to hold this door on. You can also, if you want, I don't like the look of it, but you can also put a piece of angled metal. We don't sell it. Sometimes it's plastic. There's people that make these little drawer box installation things, and you would mount one here, and then it would, you'd screw it into the back of the door and on the edge here. The problem is you'll see it. On the edge of the dovetail, you will see that installation device. So to keep this nice dovetailed clean look, you're going to want to try to come through here. It gets a little bit tricky if your panel is flat and it's a thin 1/4 inch plywood panel, because you've got no real estate. You've got no meat in here to grab with a wood screw. You have to get it into the frame. So putting the door on can be a little tricky, but you're just going to want to make sure, this is where a second set of hands is nice. You're going to want to make sure you have your overlays honored. If I'm doing full overlay, I want the door flush to the bottom of the cabinet itself, and then you got to put those screws in to hold this on. Now ultimately, when I mount a knob or a handle here, when I pull, this whole thing will slide in and out with the trash unit and the door as one combined unit. If you have any questions, give our sales guys a call. We can talk you through how to put this together. Drop the trash can in there and show you how that clears. So when I shut this, I'm missing by about 3/4 of an inch or an inch down here. So just enough to give the trash can some room to flex, but enough room here that I can mount my garbage up a little bit. So again, if you have any questions, give our sales guys a call. These are not the simplest units to put in. The Hayflow one that we offer, or the Conestoga offers, is much simpler, but some people really like this tandem action, the soft close tandem drawer glide with a lifetime warranty on the hardware, and this makes a good option for you. So give us a call if you have any questions.